Mixed martial arts. Mixed martial arts. How do we like our martial arts? We like them in Atlanta, baby! Yeah!
Look, we do like them in Atlanta. The last time they were in Atlanta, we got a banger. We got one of the greatest fights of all time, followed by another incredible fight that gets vastly underrated because of one of the greatest fights of all time preceding it. Atlanta usually produces the goods for the UFC, and we got ourselves a fight night extravaganza following UFC 316. And as you can see, one hell of a main event, big one at 170 pounds between the former champion Kamaru Usman, first fight in almost 2 years, taking on the surging Fighter of the Year contender last year, Joaquin Buckley. A lot at stake in this main event, co-main event with some stakes as well. And I think this is going to be a fun one, everybody. But thank you for joining us. We are live on the UFC Atlanta preview show here on the MMA Fighting YouTube channel. And we're here. We didn't know if we were going to be here, but we are here, damn it. And I'm very excited about that. And joining me to discuss this card and much more, and to celebrate the baddest stash in all of MMA, the one, the only producer extraordinaire, Casey Leydon. Where is he? There he is.
Yeah. What's up?
How we
No
doing?
sleeves. We're here. Let's do this. Fights.
Is that a screwed up shirt?
Yeah.
Look at that.
Down. Look at that. Representing the South.
Yes, perfect, because that's where we are. I mean, UFC Atlanta, down south for a good time. Thoughts on this event, Casey? I mean, damn, that is some thunder. UFC 316 just came to an end. That was a pretty fun card, and typically after these events, we're right back to the world's most famous Apex, but good news for us, we're not back at the Apex till August, so this is very exciting news, but we got big stakes in the main event. Co-main events got some stakes as well, and there's some interesting matchups, some prospects they're trying to build up, etc. Excitement levels, enthusiasm levels for UFC Atlanta.
I think this is kind of the basic standard for UFC Fight Night. A main event that matters, that maybe not a title fight, the winner gets a title fight, but he's basically right there. Co-main event that's got significant two ranked fighters. Obviously a lot of history of Rose Namajunas to see if she can, finally make that true, run at flyweight. And other just a lot of good prospects and just good fights on the card, and vets, with names, guys like Cody Garbrandt, people that aren't maybe relevant to like winning a title, but hey, it's Cody Garbrandt. We always want to see that. And Paul Craig, Bellato, just a good. This is a proper fight night. I think Atlanta should be happy with what the UFC brought for them. And late start time, but otherwise good times. I like it.
Yeah, I mean, it is a late start time, but then you realize that PFL had an 11 p.m. main card last night, which included a Logan Storley fight, and that's just tough for everybody. So I'm actually more open to a 10 p.m. main card because these fights are probably going to be a little bit more exciting than PFL was last night. But I'm not trying to take a shot. They've had a pretty good run so far. Last night, especially the main card, wasn't that thrilling. But look, we got Kamaru Usman back. First welterweight fight in well over 2 years since the Leon Edwards rematch that he lost in London. First fight since October of 2023 when you stepped in on... What happened there?
What happened?
What is that?
Are you saying something?
Yeah, some popped in my ear because I just interviewed Dakota Ditcheva, and for some reason, like the recording of her interview just played in my ear.
Oh, so
and
you're
like,
hearing it, but no one else is.
Why am I hearing? Yeah, why am I hearing myself talk right now? Yes, the beauty of live, streaming and television.
I was like, oh crap! I was like, what did I press? I hit something. Crap. I was like,
am I echoing? What am I doing? Like, I thought maybe I hit something, but now we're back. We're good to go. But Kamaru Usman first fight since the Khamzat Chimaev fight, where there are a lot of people thought at worst he should have got a draw. There are some people thought he won that fight, but He's lost 3 in a row, Casey. It's a weird spot. He was beating Leon Edwards until he wasn't. Then he lost to Leon Edwards, and then he lost to Khamzat Chimaev in a very competitive fight. And since then, he's just been sort of waiting. He's trying to heal up, try to get his body healthy to make one last run at the title. And this man's got big aspirations. He wants to be the welterweight champion. He wants to be the middleweight champion. He wants to win 2 belts before he rides off into the sunset. And standing in his way is Joaquin Buckley, who proved to the world that you can say really dumb things and do really bad things, but still find a way back. And that's what Joaquin Buckley did. He had the worst call-out maybe in UFC history. He's admitted that as such since, but everything he has done since that point, since the Wonderboy Thompson fight week and on, has been nothing short of fantastic. This guy has just been on a run, and now he gets this big opportunity. He called for Kamaru Usman. He's getting that fight. Your thoughts on this matchup, Casey? Usman versus Buckley. This is, to me, the absolute right fight to make.
Oh, yeah. I think I'm pretty consistent. These are the fights I love. I love when they book basically aging vets who still got it, but we know they're not in the prime, but, we know they're still good. I mean, Kamaru Usman 3-fight losing streak. When you're losing to number one ranked fighter, and maybe number 2 ranked middleweight in the world, that's 0-3, but it's all about who you fight in this game. So I'm not like going, oh, you could, I don't want to overblow that. The age, though, that is the factor for Kamaru Usman. I think, what is he, 38? Is that right? Something like that.
He is just turned 38 in May.
Yeah, 38. A lot of years. A lot of training camps. That's the big factor in here. Does Usman still got it? Is he still there? And we know Buckley's good. Like, does he have to win the belt for us to not talk about that call out? Because I want to go through our catalog and I don't think you've mentioned the name Buckley without talking about that call out first. You just.
Well, it's because it's.
Oh no,
it's part of his year. It's what made his year so special to me.
I love it. I love it. It's just so funny how that just. I just think all this time, training, becoming this, just massive killer of a fighter, and then you just say something stupid in your post-fight interview, and it doesn't matter. That's what you're known as for until maybe he wins that belt or he at least fights for a championship. But this is a fight. It makes perfect sense for both fighters. It's a win-win-win in a sense. I mean, for like a perfect matchmaking. If Usman wins, obviously a great fight. He can maybe get a title fight. If Buckley wins, he's right there for a title fight. And for the promotion, if either fighter wins, they win. So just grade A matchmaking. The timing's perfect, and I'm super excited about this fight. I really like it.
Do you feel like the winner of this fight is going to get a title fight in their next fight?
Probably not, but they'll be right at the table though. Availability what's the line we always use?
Availability is your best ability, baby.
Yeah, I think it's one of those type of situations. If injuries, if you're there, right moment, right time, then yeah, possibly. But essentially, you're the winner of this. Most likely be like a co-main event on some sort of pay-per-view where they will be up for a title shot, and it's about as high stakes as you can be without being a true number one contender.
Yeah, the winner is not getting a title fight next. At least in my eyes, like Islam Makhachev is obviously stepping up, so they're going to make sure they do everything in their power to get him in there. Which means
I totally forgot about Islam. That whole thing, because
And when is that fight going to happen? Maybe the end of the year. So like by the time the winner gets a chance to maybe fight for the belt, it could be like the spring of 2026 at this point. So Buckley's definitely fighting again. I think he's already kind of like understood that that's the assignment. He's definitely going to have to fight at least one more time. Usman, here's the one thing I've sort of had an issue with Usman about. The UFC that he reigned as champion over, and the UFC he fought in when he fought Khamzat Chimaev, even though it was less than 2 years ago, It's not the same UFC as it is now. This notion that he is just going to walk into a title fight, or that he could have walked into a title fight before fighting Buckley and then has this chance to turn around and become the middleweight champion right after that. I think he forgets what company he's actually working for, because with each passing day that Kamaru Usman didn't fight people over the last 18, 19, 20 months, that hurt him significantly in all of these title conversations, because while he was sitting up and healing up and icing the wounds, which I think he should have done, all these guys were fighting. The Ian Garys and the Shavkats and the Carlos Prachases and all these guys are making these big moves at 170 pounds right now. Buckley, and he's just kind of like letting all of this pass him by. So I think no matter what happens here, Casey, win, lose, or draw, he's fighting Bilal Muhammad next. I didn't love what he had to say at media day when he was like, well, Bilal doesn't have the belt anymore, so like, what would I fight him for? Because you're gonna have to fight him. If he beats Buckley, he's fighting Bilal, right? Like, there's no other fight.
That one makes the most sense. There's Heat, two former champions, and that would be assuming Usman wins. So it means if Usman wins tomorrow, that means obviously he still got it. So I think that really, that'll make Bilal versus Usman like a gigantic fight. I think makes perfect sense. Even if Usman loses, do you think he still gets Bilal?
Yeah, that's the fight.
Win or lose, huh?
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah. Does that kind of take some stakes off? Does it take some stakes off the main event a little bit?
No, I don't think so, because it changes nothing for me. Because the winner's going to have to fight again. Mm-hmm. There is no, like, the winner of this is not getting a title fight unless they're the backup fighter and Islam. Like,
that's what I meant. More like one of those situations. Yeah.
But just to get like full training camp title fight, it's not going to happen. It's not till like, does Usman get to sit back? Like, if Usman wins tomorrow, that's 1-3 in his last 4 fights. Considering where this division is right now, welterweight is about as good as it's been in years right now, with all these guys coming up right now. And there's guys that like aren't ranked that are really good that are on their way up right now.
Brand new.
Would it be smart for him to sit back for almost a year and wait and hope you get a title fight? He'll be 30. He could be 39 by the time he gets that fight. Shavkat and Gary and like all these guys are going to fight. Sitting around and waiting right now is just not a smart move. So the stakes are, especially for Usman, Casey, because I do think he gets the Bilal fight either way. Is his road to a championship belt and getting back to a title fight, is that road closed forever? If he loses tomorrow, that's 4 losses in a row. That's real tough to bounce back from, no matter what the names are and the circumstances. Anyone who goes to his wiki page are going to see 4 red marks next to opponents from the last 4. That, like, it's a long road back, man.
If it's a bad loss tomorrow, yes. If it's a bad loss, like a complete domination over 25 rounds, gets finished. If it's a competitive loss, I still don't think so, because of the quality of his competition he's lost to. But his age is a big one. That's the biggest thing as far as getting a title shot. I think that's why Usman has to for a title shot. Yeah, there's an unlikely chance he could lose and still get a title shot eventually. I don't see that, but there's a way. But he has to win tomorrow, and he has to fight Bilal relatively quickly. Like, time is not on his side. That's really it. Just time is not on his side. He's got to do it now. And he's taking his big break. We're assuming he's going into that cage 100%. And it needs to be the championship version of Usman in there if we're gonna kind of, I don't know, for the public to really believe that he has a shot at kind of regaining that glory again.
Yeah,
if he loses, it's just gonna be really interesting if he loses, how he loses and how we're gonna see it, because he lost to Hamzat, and we're like, okay, he still got him. He went up in weight, short notice, and that was incredibly impressive to hang with Hamzat for 15 minutes. So yeah, it's just gonna be how the fight goes. It just won't. Yeah, it's gonna be easy to say 4 if he gets another loss. It's 4 reds in a row, but I don't know. I don't want to bury him too soon. But
I
it's
mean,
close.
never say never, but I think it's pretty much a wrap if he loses again. He's just so far back. And even now he's so far back in this discussion. Like, I understand that he is known and he's got legacy as a champion, and he's at worst, the 3rd best welterweight of all time.
Yeah.
Like, that's pretty damn good. But man, 4 in a row is 4 in a row in this division. Like, you can't make mistakes. Like, you just can't. You can't be in a tough spot. So let's take a look at the betting lines right now, Casey. According to our friends at FanDuel, Joaquin Buckley, massive favorite, minus 265. The comeback on Kamaru Usman, plus 210. Casey, who wins? How does UFC Atlanta wrap?
Joaquin Buckley, he does it. Younger, stronger, powerful, just getting better. Entering his athletic prime. Usman's clearly past it. This fight's made for Joaquin. This card is made for Joaquin Buckley to shine, and I think he'll win. And I think he will finish Usman within 3 rounds.
Damn. All right.
I'm getting on the Buckley train, man. I wasn't there for a long time, but like the man's a hoss. He's got it. And I didn't honestly I didn't see it a long time. I thought he's a good action fighter. He'll win some, lose some, but I think it's coming together for him, and I think the matchmakers put him in a great position. And I think tomorrow night's gonna be a big night for him.
I am also going with Joaquin Buckley. I tend to look at the beginning of this fight the same way you do, where Buckley just kind of beats him up for 15 minutes, but Usman somehow makes it to round 4. And then I think Usman, we start to see what happened in the Hamzat fight, where he gets momentum on his side. We start to see flashes of, oh, there he is. There's the guy. Where was this the first 15 minutes? And then maybe Usman wins the last 2 rounds and Buckley kind of hangs on to win. I do think this is going to be pretty competitive. This could be like a pendulum swinging fight where it's all Buckley early as Usman tries to get his wits about him and remember what this is all like, because Buckley's fought, Jesus Christ, 6 times since the last time Usman has fought, at least 4 or 5. That's a lot of fights. So Buckley's very comfortable in there. Usman making the walk with so much at stake. And I know Usman's been in some big spots before, but Buckley, competitive decision, but I think it could be one of those fights where Usman comes away with a little bit of momentum, but still in a losing effort. So, but who knows? Maybe the Nigerian Nightmares got another run on him. Interesting.
What would shock you? What type of result was just good? I just cannot see that happening. What type of
I think Usman just killing him in the first round.
Usman just
that. Yeah, he just comes out and just bangs out Buckley in 4 minutes with a vicious knot, like a Masvidal rematch-esque knockout, something like that early. That would kind of surprise me. Not that I don't think it could happen, but I think of all the things that could happen, just be damn, that was so out of nowhere. That would be the most surprising yet maybe the most electric outcome of this fight.
It'd be interesting. What's the worst outcome for Usman in this fight? Is it just to me
he gets 50-40 forward?
I was gonna say that too. Yeah, not if he gets finished by Usman. Finished by Buckley. Just takes a big shot. Hey, a lot of guys, Buckley hits really hard. We get it. But if he gets grinded out and if he looks old, basically, if Buckley can make Usman look old in there, I think that will be the official kind of nail in the coffin as far as Usman in terms of being an elite welterweight. He's obviously going to be good. He's going to be around for a while, depending on how long he wants to stick around. But if he gets 50-45s, I think that'll be definitely the worst case scenario for Usman.
If this looks like the Colby fight, that's about as bad as it could be. Because Colby I mean, Colby got like a takedown eventually, but Colby got beat up bad in that fight.
Yeah.
That was tough scenes.
Yeah, I've seen a few commenters go like, "Oh, Usman's washed. He's washed." It's like I'm not gonna say washed because he fought competitive fights, against incredibly high level guys. But yeah, 50-45. Yeah.
People forget he was beat. Like he was literally a minute away from beating Leon Edwards before he got kicked in the face out of nowhere. And then the second fight was,
you saw it.
Not a great. It was a fight. It was competitive, but Leon clearly won. And then the Hamzat one, like it's just one of those things. Like we said it about Colby for a while, like, and we said it about Izzy. We can't miss you if you don't leave. Like you take a break, and then we're like, oh sweet, Israel is back. We haven't seen him in a while because we saw him so much. And then Usman left at like the worst time. Casey comes off the Hamzat loss, saves the UFC, makes a big splash on that card, and then he's gone for 2 years. Like all the momentum that he had built coming out of that fight just went away, and then the division just passed him by. It was just like the worst time for him to leave, just timing wise, but obviously from a health perspective, it was a good time to leave. You got to get your wits back about you. Maybe even his manager, Ali, who, let's be honest, just kind of says things for the sake of saying them. I actually believe him when he says, like, this is probably the healthiest Usman has been for a fight in a long time, just based on things that I've heard and the knees and things that he said. So be real interesting to see what he looks like in his return fight against just an absolute steamroller in Joaquin Buckley, especially with what he did in 2024. Co-main event, Thug Rose is back, Casey. Rose Namajunas taking on teammate, at least for the last couple of years, multiple times sparring partner, someone she's quite familiar with, Miranda Maverick, getting a big opportunity, Casey. Thoughts on this fight? Because when this one was made, I think this kind of caught some people by surprise, but I think I've talked to you enough over these last 5 years. Seems like a fight that's right up your alley.
Yeah. You're right. Actually, I do like this fight. We all have those fighters we kind of jump on early. We're like, oh, that's gonna be the dude. That's gonna be the chick that's gonna win that belt. I thought that for Miranda Maverick when I saw her first fight in Invicta years ago, like her first or second fight. I thought, okay, this woman is going to be a champion soon, or at least be top 5 or something like that. She'll be a contender. She's shown potential, but she just hasn't, I don't know, taken that big step yet. And I really like this fight. I'm kind of jumping the gun here. I'm actually picking Miranda. I like Rose Namajunas a lot. I think Rose is a top 10 flyweight, but and I think I have Miranda ranked at 5th. I think we, as a site, we have Miranda at 15. Miranda's 27 years old. Just kind of like, I think we just saw her kind of grow up in the UFC. I think she's just maturing. I was actually, just before we started, I was kind of catching up my personal life and seeing how she adopted her child, and that was really sweet and everything. And I don't know. I just think I think both women are in really good places right now mentally, but I think fight wise, I I like this fight a lot, and I think Miranda, this is a lot like the main event, in the sense of just this aging vet, not quite as aging. Rose is only, I think, a mid-30s, not as old as Usman, but the same kind of fight, vet versus prospect. And I'm going to prospect both fights. I think she can basically out-hoss Rose, and I think she's just going to be a stronger woman. I think she'll most likely win a. I don't think it's going to be an exciting barn burner, but I think she will win a decisive decision tomorrow night.
This is a tough one to call, man.
But I could be way off.
Miranda,
it's one of those fights I could totally see being, boom, Rose still got it,
There's fighters who I'm sure you see them in the gym when you train. Like fighters who are pros, fighters who are amateurs, who are just like, man, if their mental can just catch up with the physical, they're just going to be the best fighter in the world. And I feel like Miranda Maverick could be that. But there are things that happen that just like, I question. The Jamie Lynn Horth fight, I question a lot. That one is a little she won. That is a bit worrisome. That whole thing if you're a Miranda Maverick fan, because yes, it's great to get the win. Jamie Lynn Horth, I like her. She's fun. She had a great regional run. Canada needs good fighters. But Jamie Lynn Horth's probably like the 40th best flyweight on the planet. And Miranda struggled with her. And then even after the fight, she goes back. She's like, yeah, that was like the worst fight I've ever had. Just, I don't know. There are things that she says that kind of irk me about her and like how she perceives herself.
That was the worst fight, though. She sees some honesty. She wasn't going.
You can't have the worst fight every fight. When you don't like finish somebody, it can't be like, well, I just had a bad night. You can't do that 4 times in a row. Like, hey, one of these days, when
you fight your worst and still win. I don't know. I'm trying to see the positive here.
Yeah. Look, I do believe she's one of the 15 best flyweights in the world. Her losses are to Macy Barber, which is one of the more questionable losses.
Oh, that was
for sure. Yeah. There are very few people outside of Macy Barber's team and Macy herself who thought she won that fight. Macy won that fight. She loses to Erin Blanchfield. No shame in that. She loses to Jasmine Jasdavicius. No shame in that. Jasmine's been on a run. Yeah. Her wins are Liana Jujua in her debut, which is a great performance. She beat the hell out of her. Jillian Robertson, one that has aged exceptionally well because Jillian's on a tear. Mm-hmm. Sabina Mazo, Shanna Young, Priscilla Cachoeira, Andrea Lee, Deani Barbosa, Jamie Lynn Horth. Like, on a nice run, not like the best names that she's beaten, honestly. Like, it's tough for me. So, long way to make a long story short. I'm picking Rose to win this fight. I just think Rose is better than her. Miranda can win. Miranda has to do it. She has to be full Haas. She needs to do what Manon Fiorot did. She just needs to outmuscle her for 15 minutes. She just needs to be the overpowering, better athlete, make her punches and kicks count, maul her against the fence. Like, that's how she wins this fight. If she lets Rose breathe at all in this fight, she's going to lose. That's the way I see it. So hopefully Miranda is in like peak physical condition and can kind of put a Marab Haas mauling on her, because I think that's her only chance of getting a win here.
Yeah, Miranda's she's never going to be like a super exciting fighter. We kind of know she is the type of fighter she is, but I still think that as far as just like getting a W, she hasn't fulfilled her potential yet, and but I think she's on the right. I think she's on the right path. I mean, hey, I'm not making direct comparison, but remember JDM and that little split decision loss that he had? We were all going, geez, I don't know about this Jack Della Maddalena guy, and all of a sudden, I'm just saying the best fighters have like, it's little steps, that's all. Yeah. But the
potential is certainly there with her. Like, certainly there.
Yeah, we all see the potential in her. Yeah, it's right there, but it's like, can she do it on the right night? And that's such a big thing. And what you said is 100% correct. You see so many fighters in the gyms, and you look at them and go, geez, that dude is good. And then you watch him fight. It's a tepid decision. It's such a different thing doing it under the lights, being 150% that moment. I just don't think Miranda's done it yet. But maybe, like she said, she's only 27. She has experience, but she's growing still as a person. So I still believe in her, but we'll see. But Rose is awesome too. I mean, I'm not trying to crap on Rose at all. I think Rose is just one of the best fighters we've ever seen, honestly. And I still think Rose is a strawweight, but she wants to do the flyweight thing. Cool. We're way past that now. So yeah.
I'll tell you the biggest question I have about this fight, and it would result in the aftermath of what could happen. Because while Miranda Maverick beating Rose Namajunas would be a great win, Miranda's not getting a title shot off of a win here. It's just not going to happen. If Rose wins, even though she just lost to Erin Blanchfield, this is the UFC in 2025. And Valentina Shevchenko versus Rose Namajunas is a bigger fight than Valentina Shevchenko versus Natalia Silva, is a bigger fight than Valentina Shevchenko versus Erin Blanchfield. Probably not bigger than Zhang Wei Li, but if Zhang isn't able to go or the UFC wants Valentina to fight sooner, could Rose get a title fight if she wins this fight? Like if the UFC wants to book Valentina by like August or September, could this happen? Could we get Rose Namajunas in a title fight if she looks impressive tomorrow?
I think two things need to happen. I think Rose needs to get a performance of the night type of finish over Miranda, which would be very impressive. Has Miranda been finished in her career? She has to be the first person ever to finish Miranda Maverick, and she needs to do the thing when they give her the mic. She's got to do the thing. I don't know. Has Rose ever kind of done it? Is she ever really called out for a title fight? Or I'm trying to remember.
I don't know. Usually it's like when Rose wins a big fight, it's always like
she's just happy.
She always did something beforehand that like we think about, like a face off with Joanna and saying the Lord's Prayer, or being in the corner, being like, I'm the best, I'm the best, I'm the best. And like, those are the sort of standout moments that we talk about in the aftermath. But I'd love her to do the thing. It doesn't have to be like, Valentina, fuck you. It could just be like, Valentina, it's time. Let's do it.
Yeah, much like last week with Kayla and Amanda. It doesn't have to be like this trash talk. Just like, you're a legend, I'm a future legend. I don't know, something like that. It can be totally respectful, but Rose needs to make that kind of that call out. Win big and make that call out. And you are correct. I didn't think this fight actually had title implications as far as the next fight, but I think you're 100% correct. UFC loves champion versus ex-champion, and it makes a lot of sense. And if Rose does win big, this is a big fight night. It's not the Apex. It's going to be in front of 12,000 people. So you're gonna have that roar, that feel of a big fight. Hopefully, you're right. You're right. I didn't see that. Yeah, Rose actually could get a title fight off a big win.
I'm not, and let me just be clear, I'm not advocating for this, but it is a very
reality.
real possibility. It is a conversation we need to have, even though there's probably people in the comments, and I'm not looking at it, would think it's absolutely ridiculous. It isn't ridiculous. It's a very real thing that could happen. Rest of the main card, we get Edmund Shabazian versus Andre Petrosky. Puzzling booking. I talked to Eric Nixick about this fight in particular. That interview, I believe, is going to drop on the YouTube channel tomorrow.
Wait, puzzling booking for Edmund to take this fight? In that sense, or just in general?
I mean, Edmund's not really in a position to say no to any fight, but like the way the UFC continues to build him just is one of the funniest things ever.
Oh, it seems like a kryptonite type of fighter for Edmund.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes. Like he goes out and he has this great start. He knocks out Brad Tavares, and they throw him in there with Derek Brunson, which was most people thought was like too much too soon, but Derek tackled him a bunch and then beat him, and then they did Jack Hermanson, and Jack did the same thing. And then they did Imavov, and Imavov did the same thing. And then they give him Dolce Lungambula, who was like the 180th ranked middleweight in the world. And Edmund just dusts him up. And they're like, good job, Edmund. You're back on track. You know what would be a great job to keep your confidence going? Let's throw you in there with Anthony Hernandez, who is just going to maul you. And he loses that fight. And then it's like, okay, let's throw him in there with a bad striker and let him get another knockout. So he does it. And then they give him Gerald Mearshart, who like doesn't die and can grapple you if you don't kill him. And he did exactly what I thought he would do. And then Shabazian gets another nice win over like a fill-in opponent on short notice, I think. And now they're giving him Andre Petrosky, which is like the same fight as the ones he keeps losing. So Nixick loves this, by the way, as you'd expect. Yeah. But it's just so weird.
It's so weird, but also I kind of get it too, because for a guy like, for the matchmakers in the UFC to really believe Edmund can really make a true title run, mind you, the guy, Edmund's only 27. He's not even in his prime yet. So now we worry, no, you can't take that many beatings. No matter how many, if you take that many beatings, you'll just never reach your prime because your head's going to be just too messed up. But, he has to beat one of these guys eventually. So, I guess that's the thing. He just has to beat one of these, wrestling first, grappler first type of middleweights, and he's what, 0 for 4 right now or something like that. And
0 for 5.
0 for 5, yeah. It's kind of wild how all of his
2
losses.
wins in a row. Let's get him 2 wins in a row, and then we could start going back to this. But again, the UFC matchmakers are better.
I don't. I think Edmund shouldn't have stayed away from this fight, but it's here, so he's up for the challenge.
The only bet I have on this card is I bet on Drew Petrosky. I got him last weekend onto the next one at plus 205, and I'm like, I have to take it. That's just crazy. It's just so much value there in a fight that I could see Andre winning. Now I could see Edmund winning too, but
is it plus 205? Oh wow, jeez,
he was last week. He's a plus. It got down to plus 152. That's where Petrosky is right now.
Plus 152.
So I have a bet on Petrosky.
That sounds
I got him
better,
at plus
actually.
205. Yeah, plus 152. Edmund's minus 188. So that's an interesting fight. Cody Garbrandt is back fighting Ione Barcelos. Cody Brundage versus Mansour Abdul Malik. A lot of hype around him. We got Alonzo Menafield, Omar Sy. That is the main card. And then we go from there to Paul Craig, Adolfo Bellato. Michael Chiesa is fighting on this card against Court McGee. We got Malcolm Wellmaker versus Chris Moutinho. To me, that's the people's main event right there. Love that fight. Cody Durden, Jose Ochoa, Ricky Simone, Cameron Smotherman, Phil Rowe versus Ange Losa. And the aforementioned Jamie Lynn Horth kicking off the festivities against Vanessa Demopoulos. That is UFC Atlanta.
This is a proper fight night. I like this. I feel
it's pretty good.
There
have been way worse cards this year.
Oh, yeah.
Way worse.
Yeah. This will be an incredible Apex card.
This would be the best Apex card in 3 years.
Yeah. I love we have of all these years and just so many fights. We have these weird tiers, and
it's like crazy.
An average fight night is a great Apex card. Yeah.
This is a solid card where you got a perfect mix. You got 2 big fights with stakes.
Yeah.
You got guys who people know. You got former champions. You have prospects you're trying to build. It's got it all. Yeah. It's fun times. I'm looking forward to it.
No notes. This
Jed will be in the building. It's going to be fun. All right, let's go to the peeps.
To the peeps. All right.
Shout out to the peeps.
Oops,
showing their support.
Sorry, I haven't got a chance to read the questions, so kind of have to wing it here.
Super chatters, front of the line.
Oh boy. Okay, let's just go and start with this one.
Did Russell Brunson? Golly, man. Just when you think PFL is starting to turn around and PFL. Okay, we're doing something well. They really built up this Jason Jackson Thad Gene fight. This is the first PFL card that I had people outside of my MMA people actually reach out about. And be like, oh, should I watch this PFL card tonight? That's good. And then Russell Brand shows up at weigh-ins, and it's just you guys are just so bad at this. It's puzzling. You literally could have brought anybody else, and it would have been, just the decision making. Who thought this is a good idea? And then Don Davis is posing with him in the middle of the cage. What are you doing? What is I just don't understand it. Because there's so many bright spots. Thad Gene is a bright spot. He wins this fight last night. You got Dakota. You got Paul Hughes, who can't get a fight with Usman or Magomedov. Even it's the only fight PFL should be trying to make right now. The decision making. I will say this. I am not doing a town hall of Don Davis again because I truly at this point don't believe he. Not only does he, do I not think he knows what's going on in the MMA space or his organization. I don't think he yet knows what's going on in the world today. So I'm trying to get Coachman on to do a town hall with us because it seems like he is now the promoter of the PFL. He's the face, the guy that's hyping things up. And I think he'll have a little gusto to him with some of the questions you might ask him. So we're working on that. We're going to try to get something going before the Champion Series Africa card with Johnny Eblin and Dakota Ditcheva and AJ McKee and all that. So we'll bring Coach on and hopefully, and we'll make it happen. We'll see what's going on because this is just.
Yeah, my only hope is Don Davis just does not keep up with the news or at all, and he's just stuck in the early 2010s. He's like, hey, that's the guy from the Get Him to the Greek movie. Let me take a photo of him.
Oh, it's the dude who
Or whatever.
helped the girl cheat on forgetting Sarah Marshall. Yeah. Forgetting Sarah Marshall.
That's when he's just stuck like 15 years ago or something. I don't know.
I just don't see how. I don't see how that's. I just don't understand how anyone, like, no one around him was like, dude, come on, Russell Brand, like, what are you doing? Golly. Yeah. So the answer is no. In fact, he made them take a step back, which is super unfortunate.
All right. Oh wait, I just saw this comment. I'm not sure what it pertains to.
I started MMA training over 10 years ago. Walked to the gym for the very first time. I saw Josh Barnett, the former UFC heavyweight champion. I was shocked.
Who is this guy?
Do you know this person, Casey?
I don't know. Yeah, he's like, are we training partners?
You never met
do I know
Snazzy
you?
Paradise?
Yeah.
No one named Snazzy said hello and tried to shake your hand?
Yeah, no. Yeah, it's like, yeah, Snazzy, if you see me, I see Josh, a couple times a week. So, yeah, hit me up. That's all.
Yeah. Well, maybe it was 10 years ago. Who knows?
Yeah, maybe it was 10 years ago. Yeah. All right. Some people have been asking. Since it's kind of public news, you want to tell them about the Vox Media situation, the strike situation?
Are we striking or not? I think the fact that we are here talking to all of you right now says that we're not striking. Strike has been amended. Here's what I will say, because a lot of this is public. I can't share like details and stuff like that, but I'm sure at some point, like maybe the union will. We were very close. We're very, very close. We had a meeting late last night. Over 90% of the union agreed to a strike if the bargaining team, like, it got to that point, because they were gonna bargain like all night last night. And we're not going to like stay up all night. They are. But we basically like said, listen, if you guys want to call a strike, like, we're in. So we're ready to go. Woke up about 5:30 this morning to some messaging that a tentative agreement was struck about 5-ish in the morning Eastern time. They got it done. We got some details on the back end of the deal that was tentatively agreed to, and it's pretty damn good. I'm very happy about it. There's a lot of big wins. There are some things we did not get, but that's just kind of the nature of the beast. But yeah, no strike. No strike. You are stuck with us, hopefully for another 3 years with this new deal. And once we sign, which I think will happen early next week, maybe some details will be made public on it. But yeah, we were prepared. We were ready to go. We had some stuff working in the back end where, like, if we did strike, like, we would not be here today. Like, if we'd struck, there would be no preview show. We would not be doing anything. Jed would not have been at Atlanta for the card. Like, that's just how it works. But shout out to the Vox Media Union bargaining team for getting it done. And I'm happy with it. So let's go.
All right. Thank you for asking. All right. Joseph Bose. Yeah. We talked about Rose winning. I guess let's answer this.
No, she does not.
So the question:
does Miranda get into a number one contender fight with a win? No, she doesn't.
No.
She doesn't. Let me just kind of look at the rankings here.
Yeah, I think she'll probably need one more.
Like, her strength of schedule compared to like Jazz and Jazz Devisius, it's like not even close.
Yeah.
It's like night and day. And Jasmine has a win over Miranda. So, like, Jasmine, if anyone deserves to be in a number one contender fight, it's Jasmine. So, like, there's no way Miranda's leaping over her. There's no way Miranda's leaping over Natty Ice. Maybe she can, like, get the Grasso fight, but that's not a number one contender fight because Grasso's lost 2 in a row and she lost bad in both of them. Maybe she can get Macy Barber. I don't know. Like,
could she possibly get like a Manon?
Maybe.
Would that be a good fight for Manon to take?
Like, I'd be interested in that fight. This fully depends on the performance, though. If she goes out and like has a tepid decision, my guess,
same spot,
yeah, my guess. This is how I'm going to kind of throw this out there: is Miranda is going to fight the Tracy Cortez Viviane Araújo winner. That's how I'll do it.
That's probably more realistic. Yeah. All right. Thank you, Mr. Boza.
Yeah, she's just not there, unfortunately. Micah Mustache, love to make the show fun for you like you do for us with some fun questions. Can you name some of your favorite evil warriors on He-Man?
Oh, that's easy. That's easy for me. Hey, so growing up, were you like a G.I. Joe kid, a Transformers kid, a He-Man guy? What were you? Or did you?
I mean, I dabbled in all. Like my older brothers were more He-Man than me. I was the kid watching Sports Center at like 4.
Okay.
Like that was me.
Okay, gotcha.
But I did watch stuff like, obviously I watched like episodes of He-Man. Mm-hmm. I think like the biggest cartoon like action show that I watched was like the old Ninja Turtle show. Okay. Where like James Avery, who played Uncle Phil, was the voice of Shredder. Like that was like,
I didn't know that. I didn't know that.
Yeah, true story, bro. True story. Yeah, that was me. But who's your favorite evil warrior from He-Man?
Okay. I was a big He-Man kid growing up. My favorite one was the guy, I think it was Manny Faces. He had a little knob on top of his head, and you could turn and it'd be like a robot face, a human face, and a monster face. Manny Faces was good. I was really big into they were on the She-Ra side. They were the bad She-Ra enemies, the Horde. And the Hordak, I think. And this guy called the Leech, and he had like a suction, and he could like you press on the back, and it would like suck on the thing. So like he was like this big leech guy, and I would always like press it on my face and like have him stuck to my face. And what was it? Grizzlor, I think it was Grizzlor. He was part of the Horde too, and he was like this. Just he looked like a really mean version of Chewbacca. And I liked Stinkor a lot. He was like a skunk guy, and he's supposed he smelled bad. And the guy with the grappling hook, I don't know, I can't remember his name. So I used to have I was big into He-Man. I was big in the Masters universe, and of course in Evil Lyn. I think they're remaking. I thought they were doing a live action He-Man again. I don't know. I felt like I saw that, but I can talk about He-Man a lot.
There you go. Thank you, sir.
Thank you. One more, because we didn't talk about this fight.
Is this going to be Chiesa's last fight? I could be wrong, but I'm sure I heard him say somewhere that he's at the end of his career. Well, he is. He knows that. Chiesa's what? How old's Chiesa?
I guess.
Let me see. Let's pull it up.
30.
He's got to be like 30, 38.
We're going 38.
Michael Chiesa is 37. He'll be 38 in December. So we're right in the middle.
You're right in the middle. Yeah.
We had it surrounded. Chiesa. We had it surrounded. I don't know if this is his last fight.
Remind me how that Max Griffin fight look. I know
Mike looked good, man. Mike looked good. And then Mike finished him.
Yeah, he finished him.
No.
He
finished Ferguson. He's not going to beat the Sean Brady's and Kevin Hollands of the world, but he's probably going to beat Court McGee.
I'm actually impressed.
He should have fought Colby, man. Like they should have just made that fight. They should just did the tough coaches fight. Have that be Chiesa versus Colby, but they didn't do it. And that's that. So I don't know. Maybe.
Yeah. Vet versus vet. God, Court McGee. Take a guess right now. How many fights do you think Court McGee has had in the UFC? What are you guessing?
Oh, Jesus Christ. 25.
Close. 23. This will be his 24th walk.
Oh, damn.
That was really close.
And Chiesa's at 20.
That's wild. Yeah. That
is wild.
Yeah. So,
I will say
Court McGee is 40. Yeah.
if he
Is this Court McGee's last fight if he loses?
Jeez. I thought it was Court McGee's last fight like 14 fights ago.
We've said that. I think we've said that a lot. Yeah.
I'll say no to both. If Chiesa goes out and finishes Court and wins decisively and he retires, it's because he's next in line for commentary duty. That would be my guess. So maybe he's getting a Contender Series commentary shot. Who the hell knows? But I know he wants to get to that point where he's doing some color commentary, and maybe he's just taking some fights in between. But yeah. I love his mindset right now. He's just like, yeah, man, I'm not gonna be a champ. I'm just gonna go have some fun out there. Like, I love Michael Chiesa, man. Like, one of the most interesting, intelligent fight IQ minds of the sport. Like, tremendous analytic mind. You know, does he get a little too over the top when he's on the desk? Sure. But you know, that's the job. He's not a journalist. Mm-hmm. But if you like talk to him about specific fights and like breaking down X's and O's, he's one of the best.
Yeah, I enjoy his passion. I may not 100% agree with it, but I enjoy his passion, his point of view of things. So like I've never had like an issue with Michael Chiesa as a commentator on the desk and stuff. So does he ever do? I know he's on the desk. Has he done actual play-by-play? Not play-by-play, but you know, color commentary.
Color?
Yeah.
Not for the UFC. He's done it for LFA.
Okay, LFA. Okay, yeah. Yeah,
he's good, man. He's real good.
Yeah, if he wins, yeah, I mean, if that's lined up, he coming off a win, transition right into commentary. You know, it's good to leave, you know, on a good note too. You know, especially if you don't have any title aspirations at this point. So yeah, so who knows? It could be the last night for both those fighters. We don't know yet.
Yeah.
But I like to fight. It's a good middle of the card Apex.
Sure.
Fight night card. Fight. So yeah. And what else?
I would also think if like the UFC had any idea either would retire, this would probably be a main card fight. But that's another thing. We'll see.
All right. Another one, Masters Universe.
Have either of us done commentary at any events? If not, would you like to? I haven't.
No, I wouldn't. I'm not that person to do commentary.
No, I've always said like, would I do play-by-play? Sure, because like, I mean, I would have to know who the fighters are, but I just let the expert talk about the fisticuffs and like what is actually happening. So I would know how to set that person up. I think my best role would be like hosting a desk and just kind of setting the table for the fighters or the quote unquote experts to break things down. Like that would be my spot. Like if I could do anything, it would be to host a desk during an event or something like that.
Cool. No, I'm not interested in doing that type of commentary, but thank you.
I've ring announced. That was fun.
Ring announced, yeah.
Done that a few times.
And where are we at? Oh, cool. And our last question, we got a super chat from our wonderful friend, Terrence.
Hope y'all got what you'll deserve with Vox. We're happy. Yeah. So yeah, shout out again to the bargaining squad, getting it done.
Yeah, a lot of hard work. Yeah,
hell yeah.
That's a job that I'm not. That's just not for me. But I'm glad we have trusted union members that we can trust to handle that stuff, because I'm like, oh,
yep.
That's not my lane.
Nope. Me neither. So
one more from Terrence.
All right. I stand with real unions all day, every day. Let's go.
There we go. Let's go.
We done? There's the music. That means we're done. All right. Thank you all. Lots going on tomorrow. I mean, there's Glory.
Oh, yeah.
With, the Glory
Rico.
event. Rico's fighting Artem, who turned down a UFC contract, which is pretty awesome, if I'm not going to lie. Dirty Boxing 2 is tomorrow, headlined by Jairzinho Rosenstrike. Bruce Leroy's fighting on that card. I mean, there's a lot of like ex-UFC fighters competing at that event. I believe there's like 11 former UFC fighters competing on that card. And of course, we got UFC Atlanta. Just fun stuff. Baku next week for the UFC.
Yeah. Wait,
that card looks real fun.
Is BKFC Hockey Wars? Is that this weekend?
No.
Oh.
Get the horn ready. BKFC Mohegan headlined by Dylan Kleckler taking on Parker Porter.
Hey, Parker Porter
headlining BKFC tomorrow night. So we got that going on. Randy Costa's fighting on that card. Peter Barrett's fighting on that card. A lot of New England and ex-UFC representation.
Oh, Randy Costa, he's back.
Randy Costa's fighting on that card.
Oh, nice. All right.
Yes, the face of Game Bred Bare Knuckle is taking his talents to BKFC. So, seems like a good spot for him. So, lots of stuff to watch this weekend, and we'll have you covered. MMAfighting.com. Casey and I'll be back tomorrow, 6:30 p.m. Eastern, to answer more of your questions on the People's Pre-Fight Show. So, thank you all very much. For Casey, I am Mike Heck. Have a great rest of your Friday.
Yay.
Bye-bye.
Bye.